Well, it's not having sex on the beach, but it's the next best thing. Hello and welcome to Intoxicated Masculinity. If it's Wednesday, we have a cocktail video coming at you. Today we're going to go ahead and continue with our summer-themed cocktails. And today we're going with Tamika Hall's Black Mixcellence for a cocktail that was created by Mika Richardson, and it is the On a Beach Somewhere. This cocktail is kind of reminiscent of the Pina Colada, has some similarities. It is just kind of a nice, big, over-the-top, tons of ingredients, delicious cocktail to sip on a beach somewhere. The history of it, I could not find the year it was made again. This book is relatively recently published, so I'm assuming the cocktail is also fairly recent, and so I don't have a lot of history to tell you about it, so I think we're going to go ahead and just get right into making it. Okay, so we're back and we have our ingredients. First thing though I want to do, one of the ingredients on here that I had not had before is lychees, which I believe is the correct pronunciation, but feel free to correct me below. And so I've never had them before. I'll go ahead and try one. Unfortunately, because I live in central Iowa, there are not very many lychee farms in the nearby, so I unfortunately had to get canned. It's a really interesting flavor. It kind of tastes like a strawberry and a pear had a baby, a little bit. It is not a very super flavor-forward fruit. It's I would say a little bit more mild in the flavor department, but it's very good, very sweet. I could munch on those for quite a bit. So we're going to start off with the ingredient we just talked about. It's going to be our lychee simple syrup. So this is just equal parts lychee, water, and sugar. It's very simple, hence the name. Next we've got an ounce of lime juice. Now one of the things that I'm doing here, and I learned, for reference, we had some technical difficulties, so this is the second time I'm recording this episode, unfortunately. And this cocktail, as written, is actually a little bit big for a standard shaker. So I'm actually sort of downsizing this just a tiny bit to make sure that we don't have things splashing all over the place. Next ingredient is going to be our Maraschino liqueur. And if you prefer Maraschino liqueur, more power to you. Okay, we're going to go to half an ounce. Next, we're going to do cranberry juice. And that is going to be 2.5 ounces, or excuse me, it's 3 ounces as written. I'm probably going to go a little more like 2.5 ounces because I don't want to have cranberry juice all over my front. Two and a half ounces cranberry juice and 2.5 ounces of pineapple juice. And finally, this cocktail is actually calling for bourbon, which is something you don't see in tiki cocktails very much. I think it's a good ingredient. I mean, it brings a lot of sweetness. It calls specifically for Maker's 46. I unfortunately used all the Maker's 46 I had in the video, which we had to scrap. So we're going to upgrade and we're going to go to Maker's 46 Cask Strength, which is a whiskey that I've talked about on the channel before and I'm a big fan of. We're going to toss in 2 ounces. Now, we're going to toss some ice in our shaker, and hopefully I have downsized this just enough that it's not going to splash all over us. Fingers crossed. Okay, go ahead and dump that into your shaker. I believe we are good. Like I said, if you got bigger shakers or something like that, go exactly as, sort of I've illustrated it. I basically just took a little bit off of each pour to get it to fit into the shaker, right? Anyway, we're going to give that a good shake. All right. So this one we are going to put in our hurricane glass. So what I'm going to do is initially just do a partially gated pour. But the thing is, we want our ice to go in this drink. So we're gonna try and get all the liquid out. We're not gonna try and keep ice out either. Okay. Now this actually calls for a garnish of pineapple and a maraschino cherry. I don't have any pineapple, unfortunately, so I'm just gonna toss a cherry on top. Who doesn't like that? Toss in our straw. And there you have a very summery looking cocktail that I think is going to be quite good. It is quite good. It's funny, even with the Maker's 46 cask strength, I don't feel like this is too boozy of a cocktail. You get enough juice in there that's sort of diluting it a little bit. You are getting the bourbon, but I would say that it's just around the edges, just a little bit of the sweetness. You get all that juice coming through. You get some sweetness coming through. The lychee you're getting, or the lychee, excuse me. The lychee is coming through. The lime is actually getting just a little bit lost, maybe. It's not a super citrus forward cocktail, which actually, for some people I know, tiki can be a bit of a turnoff if you have stomach issues, and that citrus kind of has a tendency to hit your stomach hard, and I don't think this will do that for you, so it might be good news for you. Ultimately, that's just a really fun, giant, fruity, poolside cocktail. You could definitely be drinking it on a beach somewhere, and I would. Anyway, on that bombshell, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good drink, and have a good day.